Hello, I'm the fibromyalgia critic. My fingers hurt, so yours don't have to. And welcome to the fourth installment of the Hannahcast, your one-stop shop for movie news for movie nerds. And speaking of movie nerds, I have my co-host Raphael.
That's me.
That's
A movie nerd.
that's
I'm glad to. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I don't know. In case you guys don't know, we've had a lot of technical issues going on now, but hopefully things go right. Maybe if our good Lord and Savior Danny Trejo helps us with this. But yeah,
My father always told me to second time's a charm.
yeah, but but yeah, we have a lot of topics to get to today. And starting off this podcast, we're going to be. There's been some development on Venom 2, the sequel to a movie I never saw, but I still want to see because I thought the trailers were pretty cool. And apparently, the director of Venom 2 has been announced, and out of three there were three choices like on the short list that were reportedly going around. One of them was, Rupert Wyatt, the director of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Travis Knight, the guy who directed Bumblebee and Kubo and the Two Strings, and the last one who eventually did get announced is Andy Serkis, the guy who played Gollum from Lord of the Rings and Caesar from Planet of the Apes. He's going to be directing Venom 2. So what are your thoughts on this, Raphael?
I mean, I'm glad that they're getting somebody else to direct Venom 2. I thought Venom 1 was a very not good movie. I can't say that I've seen anything directed by Andy Serkis. But I love his work as an actor, and I think that if he's able to sort of, I don't know, I feel like he's done a lot of really, really good movies, and he's probably learned a lot from experience with talented directors, and I think he's a good choice.
Yeah, I've only seen, like, Andy Serkis has technically by himself directed only two movies. One of them was Breathe, which was a drama starring Andrew Garfield, and the other one was Mowgli: Legend of the Jungle, which was that Jungle Book adaptation that came out last year on Netflix and had a limited theatrical release. And I know you haven't seen Mowgli, but I would recommend seeing it. Like, for me, it's not as great as Jon Favreau's version, but I mean, even still, I thought it was a pretty solid. I thought it was a really solid film. The animals' faces looked really weird because, like, they tried. I'm guessing it was done to make the animals express more, but at the cost of that, it made the animals look kind of strange and it had a weird hybrid of human and animal faces. That looked bizarre. The CGI itself I thought was very well incorporated in with the live action stuff, and I would suggest that. And considering how Andy Serkis can direct, like how he directed that movie, which was a lot more aggressive, I feel like you could do something really special with with Venom. And I don't know if you know this, Raphael. I didn't tell you this. Apparently, he also was the second unit director on the Hobbit movies.
Um, well, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a good thing. The Hobbit movies were pretty bad.
I haven't seen the third one. I thought the first two were pretty good, in my opinion. I mean, certainly not as
Um,
good. Certainly not as good as Lord of the Rings, but I mean, I thought they were.
I thought they were a cash grab, and I mean, really, they were a cash grab. I mean, Peter Jackson
I mean, to be fair,
and
every film is a cash grab.
not necessarily. If you make like Lord of the Rings wasn't a cash grab in its
Oh,
entirety. It just
oh,
depends on the percentage of the film that is a cash grab. If it's a passion project
I
with
mean,
people that respect the source material and care about it, then it's fine that they're making a little money while releasing this movie. But The
I mean, like,
Hobbit takes that to the extreme. He turned one book into three movies, and then he also admitted to adding in a very, very terrible love dynamic between an elf and a hobbit to appeal to teenage girls. And that's just, for me, not the way you make a movie, especially not if you're doing it in the Lord of the Rings universe. where you have a lot of really dedicated fans that care and respect the established lore. But that's just me.
I mean, look, I'm just like the Lord of the Rings movie. The Lord of the Rings movies, I absolutely think like they were intended. Like no movie, no, especially no big movie, is ever made to not make their money back. Like I feel like it's not an either or thing. It is, both and. Like a movie can be a cash grab and be a passion project. And I feel like even The
I mean, that's
Hobbit
exactly what I said.
probably. I feel like even The Hobbit was probably a passion project. It just, for a lot of people, it didn't work out. Uh, which I mean, but regardless, I feel like, back to Andy Serkis. I feel like Andy Serkis is going to really deliver something really fresh to Venom 2, especially since he is very skilled in motion capture, and he could probably, do really well with the not just the effects work, but also just the dynamic of Venom himself. Again, this is coming from someone who has never seen the first Venom, so what do I know? But I do think this is a pretty solid choice, and I really would suggest, Raphael, that you do see Mowgli. It is a really solid film.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on Netflix, I'll check it out.
Yeah. So there's that. Andy Serkis is directing Venom 2. I'm really interested to see where he goes with this. So there's that. Uh, the next three topics are sort of involving Disney and whatnot, and this next one is interesting, which is last week Disney announced that there's going to be a bundle pack of when it comes to their streaming services, which is going to be Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for $12 a month. And now, granted, I don't give a shit about sports, so ESPN Plus doesn't mean anything to me. But I'm really wondering, what are your thoughts on this, Raphael?
I mean, it makes sense. Disney owns all three of those things. Um, so I guess I think it's a plus to be able to get all three of them for just a few dollars over the price of one. And I don't know though. What does this mean for all of the Disney shows currently on Hulu? Like, will they just be removed from Hulu and transferred to Disney Plus?
I'm not.
Or
I'm not exactly sure. Now, I know that a lot of the R-rated Fox stuff is going to go onto Hulu. Like, I think Family Guy's going to end up on Hulu. Archer's going to end up on Hulu. Like a lot of those, I think the more family-friendly stuff is going to go over to Disney Plus, which I think makes sense. There's a couple of things that do make that I do hope become a thing, and it's these. For one, I do hope that there's like a yearly plan available for this bundle pack, because I'm the kind of guy who really prefers like a yearly plan over just having to worry about every month going through a lot in debts and whatnot. So there's that. But the other thing that makes me a little bit like go ah is that, again, maybe there's another plan that has a different side of this, but right now the Hulu part of this deal is Hulu with ads, and personally, I never got that. I never got like why you would pay for ads.
me neither. I think it's one of the biggest nonsense things of all time. Like, Netflix is a lot like Hulu in the respect that they're both streaming services. The only difference is Netflix doesn't have, well, they used to have this tier stuff when they like delivered DVDs. I don't know if they still do that,
Oh yeah,
but
they do.
well, then yeah, then that still exists. But like, there's a very large difference between charging people extra for DVD delivery and charging people, period, to watch the shows on your platform with advertisements, and then creating another tier that just gets rid of them and not making that the default. Like, what if Hulu was just free but with ads, because they still make the money on the ads? And some of the ads, they're like 120 seconds in length, and there's like four of them sparse throughout the what, like 30 minutes of content that you're watching. So they could definitely get their money's worth from doing that, but I don't know. Corporate greed just won't allow it, I guess.
Now, I mean, let's now well, for one, we should say first world problems we're having right here. Like, look, especially if you look on the news, there's way worse things happening right now than the fact that we have ads in our entertainment. But regardless, like
I
if
mean, that's not a really good counter argument. It's still a problem because it affects every consumer that uses Hulu. And sure, it's a first world problem, but greed and companies squeezing people for every dollar that they have, and it becoming okay, and people just saying, "Oh, whatever, nothing I can do about it." It just allows them to do it more and even worse. Like it is a problem. I'm just saying.
well, I mean, I mean, uh, I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm like I said, there already is a a plan that a single Hulu plan that doesn't have ads. Again, again, I'm hoping there is another version of this bundle pack that doesn't have ads on Hulu because that would help out. Like, cause like something like IMDb TV or Voodoo TV or Voodoo or whatnot, where it's free with ads. I can get that because like it's free with ads. Like, but
Right.
I never got the whole thing of paying for ads. But and even though I don't really give a shit about ESPN Plus, I mean, I don't know. Do you care about the ESPN Plus part?
Mm, I don't watch a lot of sports, honestly. I mean, it's nice for people that like sports, I guess. That's a plus. But if I were to theoretically pay for this package, which honestly I probably wouldn't because I already have Hulu, and I don't know. Disney Plus just doesn't seem like a thing that's gonna. It might take off. It might do very well for itself, but I don't know if it would really be up my alley since it's focused on more of like the family-friendly Disney content.
I mean, there's still a lot of PG-13 stuff that's going to be on there. Like the Star Wars movies are going to be on there. The like soon a lot of the Marvel stuff is going to be on there, and apparently there's going to be some, what is it like a lot of the Marvel TV shows that are going to be on there, like apparently like things like the Loki series or was it Falcon and Winter Soldier? Apparently, WandaVision. Apparently, that stuff is going to tie directly into
Like
the
I
ends.
said, if those things get high critical praise, I might consider paying for Disney Plus. But I have all of the Star Wars movies on DVDs. I have a lot of the Marvel movies on DVDs and Blu-ray and stuff. Like I don't really need Disney Plus to watch those.
Again, again, I'm trying. Again, it all depends on who you ask and whatnot. I
Right. No, yeah, of course.
I'm personally very excited for this. I mean, and this bundle pack does sound interesting. It's just I hope there's variations of this bundle pack. Like I hope there's a version where there's Hulu with no ads because I love Hulu, and uh and and I do hope that there is a yearly plan because like I said I prefer yearly plans to monthly plans and whatnot. So there's that. And speaking of Disney Plus, apparently some of the Fox stuff is going to be adapted for Disney Plus content, uh, which include franchises like Home Alone, Cheaper by the Dozen, Night at the Museum, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. One of these I'm very excited for. One of them I could not give any shits about. Another one I have no opinion over because I've never seen it. And the other one makes me go, why? But not in terms of how good or bad, not in terms of how good it was. But like, first of all, Home Alone. I'm one of those. I'm gonna make a lot of people mad. I did not like Home Alone. I didn't think any of the movies were that good. And so the fact that they're doing something new with something else with Home Alone, I'm just like, eh. What was this part? What do you say about this part? Like the Home Alone part?
I like the first two. I thought they were good movies about a kid running amok in New York, and the first one, a kid running amok in his own house. I think that Joe Pesci did a really good job in Home Alone. I believe it was two.
No, it was actually they
Yeah,
were. He was in both.
yeah. But when he was with that, when he was trying to break into their house and
Oh, that's the
all
first
that
one.
stuff. Yep, he did a good job in that one. I really liked his character. I I'm indifferent about more Home Alone stuff. I mean, they can do it if they want. That's their prerogative. Um, I'll probably give it a watch if I hear good things about it. But I don't know. I really haven't ever thought about a Home Alone reboot. It doesn't really feel like it's been that long since Home Alone came out.
I mean, like, and I saw some people were complaining about this, like, don't you dare touch Home Alone. I'm like, even if you take out that I didn't like the first Home Alone, the Home Alone series has already been run into the ground with its sequels. Like, how could
Oh
it
yeah,
get
dude, for
worse?
sure, for sure.
So there's that. But I will say, even though I didn't like any of the movies, Tim Curry in Home Alone 2 was the best. Like,
Yeah,
he was
Tim Curry did a great job.
have a lovely day. It's like, oh my god, I love Tim Curry. The one that I have no opinion over because I've never seen it was Cheaper by the Dozen. I don't know. Have you seen this?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen Cheaper by the Dozen. Steve Martin's in it,
Yeah,
and it's a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it.
yeah.
I don't know what a remake of this would really look like. Steve Martin is a really good actor, and he was really good in Cheaper by the Dozen. But I think if they, can get a good director, good writing team, and some good actors for this, so they can do something good with it.
Yeah, again, we have no idea if they're actually rebooting these or if these are continuations. I have no idea. They just said that they're bringing these franchises back for Disney Plus content, so I don't know. But the one that makes me really excited, oh my god, is Night at the Museum. I love the Night at the Museum movies. I still have not seen the third one, even though I have the Blu-ray of it, and I don't know why I haven't seen it. But the first two I thought were great. I thought they were I thought they were really funny, like really creative. Family adventure films. What do you think of Disney Plus bringing back Night at the Museum?
I've only seen the first one, if I'm honest.
But
I thought it was all right. Um, I do think that it's a bit of a weird decision, and it's not weird. It's just unexpected from me. I never saw the second or third one. But yeah, I'd say it's just unexpected is what I would.
uh, I don't know. For me, I'm really excited for this, and you really need to see the second one. Battle of the Smithsonian is fucking amazing. There's in it like, oh my god! Imagine the Smithsonian Museum coming to life. Well, museums like it's amazing. Again, I I, this is really mainly due to me being a huge fan of Night at the Museum, but I don't care. I am so curious to see what they're going to do with this. I don't know if it's going to be a reboot, or if it's going to continue on, or if it's going to be an animated series. I have no idea. All I know is that I'm excited. And the one that makes me go, why? Mainly because no one gives a shit anymore, and it's Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What do you think of this?
Well, I've read some of the books, but I was in like maybe middle school when I did. And then I remember when the first movie came out. I think I was like 11 years old or something.
It came out 2010.
Yeah, yeah, I was like 11, and I saw it in theaters. But
You saw it in theaters.
I think,
What'd you
yeah,
think of
I
it?
think that was really, I don't remember much about it. So it couldn't have been that good. Um, I didn't see any of the other ones either. So I think it's a weird move. Maybe they're sort of trying to like get those millennials to get the Disney Plus, but I don't think Diary of a Wimpy Kid's gonna do that for you.
I
Um,
just it's just Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like it's sort of like when Fox did Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul, the fourth
oh
installment.
yeah, with dude that Roderick,
Oh my,
Roderick.
like the guy who
No one's
actually
gonna notice. Trust me.
no, it's like if you guys don't know, for like there were three Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies initially. There was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, then there was Roderick Rules that came out in 2011. Then there was what was it? Dog Days that came out in
Yeah.
2012. And then Many years after Dog Days, they did Diary of a Wimpy Kid 4, which I'm guessing is in the same franchise, but it's a completely new cast, and they even put in the marketing like a brand new cast but the same old laughs. But it's like you guys waited way too long to do
Yeah, it was like what, 5 years in between
I
Diary of a
think.
Wimpy Kid.
But it's like the cast somehow got even worse, the writing got even worse, and it was just so unfunny. I just sat there watching, going, does like all of the kids who grew up on Diary of a Wimpy Kid are adults now? Does
Yeah.
does and again, maybe they could do something with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Who knows? With Disney Plus. I mean, there's no way it could be as bad as.
Well,
Uh,
see, what I'm saying is the books are pretty good. I do remember enjoying the books when I was younger. They're funny. But I don't understand why it did not well, I do understand why it didn't translate well to the movie screens, but
I mean, like
if they stick to the not stick to the source material, but just like
adapt it in a
take more
way.
care with it than the first four movies did, they should be all right
But the weird
at
thing is that
least.
But the weird thing is that I remember like having read the first book and watching the first movie. The first movie was actually pretty damn accurate to the book, but I just didn't feel like it worked. Like I feel like maybe Diary of a Wimpy Kid is one of those things that maybe works in the vein of a kid's book, but maybe not so much in a live action film. I don't know because it's like because I just don't know, but I just don't know how like who they're going for with this new Diary of a Wimpy Kid because like no one like all the like again all the kids who grew up in the books are now grown-ups and like they don't
Yeah.
give a shit about Diary of a Wimpy Kid anymore.
I
Again,
honestly forgotten mostly about it up until I saw that they were thinking of either. I'm assuming. I hope they're rebooting it.
oh god, I hope it's a reboot because like I mean even then like Diary of a Wimpy Kid the Long Haul was practically a reboot, but I don't know. Again, they could probably like maybe in Disney's hands they're going to do it better. Like maybe actually adapt it into like sort of like an actual relatable kids series or something. Because maybe they could do that. But just on first glance, it makes me wonder why they're doing this. Because it's like nobody gives a shit anymore. Again, really excited for Night at the Museum. Could not give a shit about Home Alone. Don't have any opinion over Cheaper by the Dozen. And I question why they're doing Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So there's that. And our third topic on Disney is about like basically there's been a whole big fiasco over at Fox because apparently Fox lost over $180 million in profits and whatnot, mostly due to Dark Phoenix flopping so badly at the box office. I haven't seen Dark Phoenix, so I have no opinion over it, but all I know is from the box office, it tanked. And it was so big of a loss over Fox to the point to where apparently Disney had to scrap most of Fox's films because of all those losses, and now apparently Kevin Feige is going to be he's going to be producing all the Fox comic book properties, which I already kind of figured he would, although they never said they're good. They never said anything MCU specifically. They just said that that Kevin Feige is going to be sort of the man behind the Fox comic book films. So we don't know what's going to be going on with Deadpool. I'm for sure certain that we're going to see X-Men and Fantastic Four in the MCU. But what do you think of this whole Fox fiasco?
Well, I definitely do think it's surprising. The newer X-Men movies have generally been pretty good, like at least in the box office and in terms of like.
I haven't seen Dark Phoenix, but out of the X-Men movies that came out in the 2010s from what was it? From X-Men First Class to maybe if
First
you
Class
to maybe if you want to count Deadpool 2, I thought all of them have been great. Even the Wolverine, in my opinion.
The Wolverine was definitely not a terrible movie. I didn't like it as much as the other X-Men movies in the First Class and stuff since First Class, but it definitely wasn't terrible. It definitely felt closer to a Wolverine comic book than most of the other stuff that they've done
Origins.
with Wolverine in the movies. Yeah, dude.
But like now apparently Disney has said that their West Side Story, like their new West Side Story, is still in development, and they're still gonna, I mean, well, not just in development, it's still in production. It's going to come out next year, and they're still going to do the Avatar sequels. And apparently Fox Searchlight, like, you know what Fox Searchlight is, you know, the more
Yeah.
Oscar movies like Shape of Water, 12 Years a Slave.
Hmm.
That studio apparently they said is going to be operating rather normally. So that's good, but man, it's a real shame what's going on over at Fox, and I'm not blaming Disney for this because look, Disney just spent $70 billion on Fox, so like they're not in any situation right now to lose any more money. So it sucks, but I get it. What do you think?
No, yeah, same here. I mean, if you put invest in something and they don't deliver on that investment, then there's no real reason to not step in and do something about it.
Yeah. Now, again, this really makes me wonder what they're going to be doing with the Fox comic book properties. Because, again, I figured for damn sure they were going to put Fantastic Four in the MCU, and they're probably going to find some way to do something with the X-Men, probably with multiverse and whatnot. But
They probably will end up. I mean, I don't know. It's a real 50-50 as to whether or not we'll see the Fantastic Four in the movies. The last all of the Fantastic Four movies have not done that well at the box office and have been received critically even less well. But I don't know. It's just a risk making a Fantastic Four movie. You're really gonna have to make one that knocks it out of the park because the last few have not performed well for the companies that release them.
yeah, even though I'm like one of only 5 people in the world who actually liked the last one that we got, but that's besides the point. This really does make me wonder what are they going to do with Deadpool? Because is Deadpool going to be in the MCU, or is he, or do you think they're going to keep him in, keep him under Fox's banner?
It really depends on what they decide to do with the X Men at this point. There's a lot that they could do with Deadpool. Deadpool in the comic books, at least, was part of X Force, which is an X Men storyline. It's pretty good, and he's a really good comic relief character. I really kind of hope that they let let it at least keep in the direction that it's going because Ryan Reynolds is a really great Deadpool, and the two Deadpool movies that we've gotten, technically three if you count the Christmas special, have been pretty good. The one and two were amazing. I thought the Christmas special was entertaining, but we'll see.
But here's the problem, though. I mean, like this is going to be a big conundrum that could piss off a lot of fans because Bob Iger, the head guy at Disney, said initially when it was during CinemaCon earlier this year, like before this whole big fiasco with Fox and the profits and whatnot, uh, like initially he said that Deadpool was still gonna be rated R, but under Fox because they did because they don't want to cross that kind of R-rated character into the MCU because he said they don't want to confuse the audience, which I like. I mean, yeah, you and I won't be confused, but the general movie-going audience I feel like would be confused. But the problem here I find uh, is that if again maybe for all we know you know Kevin Feige is technically the producer of these Fox comic book movies and but they're not really going to be under the MCU, but with Deadpool I don't see how either one of two things I think is going to happen. One, he's not going to be in the MCU but he's going to stay rated R, and or two, he's going to be in the MCU, but he's going to be PG-13, which probably could work, but you have to be a little bit creative with that. What do you
I
think?
mean, I really don't know. It could really go either way. I wouldn't be terribly excited for a PG-13 Deadpool movie, so I really hope that they leave them alone and just let whoever's been at the helm of these Deadpool movies keep on trucking. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, even if Deadpool is PG-13, I still think if anybody can make it work, it's gonna be Kevin Feige. Like I feel like he could probably make this work. I mean, because yeah, I mean, like I'm like yeah, and especially if Ryan Reynolds is like a. But yeah, there's that. So, any further thoughts?
Not from me, no.
All right. Our next topic is about our good old friends over at MoviePass. They decided to fuck people in the ass once again, and they are getting fucked raw. I'm telling you, because if you don't know, I used to be a MoviePass subscriber. It initially was a really cool service where for $10 a month you could see any movie once per day. But then slowly but surely they started fucking me in the ass, and I really found it uncomfortable because first they started, saying you could only see a movie once, and whatnot, and then you couldn't see it, and then you couldn't see it again, which sucks. Then they started introducing peak pricing, where at certain times, movies had they had a surcharge, which I think is stupid. And then they just kept going at it. Like they started limiting what movies you could see, like when Mission Impossible came out. And now apparently, it I read this in Variety. MoviePass last year, almost right after I quit MoviePass, changed the passwords to limit access into the app. Um,
That's
is that legal?
I do not know. I'm not a lawyer, but that's not all. I've actually been reading a bit about this. And there is so much more that that's not even like the tip of the iceberg. So listen to this. So
Oh no.
apparently they also added this thing. So they called it a tripwire, which basically what it would do is that if MoviePass went like over a certain amount of money in terms of ticket sales, this tripwire would just shut down the app for everyone that was using MoviePass,
Oh
and it would
no.
just display the message: "There are no more screenings at this theater today." And with that surcharge business, that's even worse because sometimes people reported that the surcharge fees were as high as $8. So you're basically paying for a movie ticket on top of the $10 a month that you pay for Movie Pass to just pay for the movie ticket anyways. Like that it just defeats the purpose of Movie Pass. I really think that at this point, as a company, they're done. They should probably be expecting some lawsuits. I
Uh
don't think Movie Pass will really be able to recover from this. It's just a like what's going on here just feels like a company lying to its consumers and just committing fraud. And I'm just glad that this has all come out and people know now because I like this isn't acceptable behavior from a company at
uh
all, even in
what?
the slightest.
That is that's real bad. Like, and apparently, like, basically, if you don't know this, their business model was basically trying to get as many customers, people to sign up as possible, so that they could actually not blackmail, but they could basically threaten the movie theaters to give them a cut, like a percentage of like concession sales and whatnot, concession sales, and it's like, what the hell was like again, like MoviePass started out so cool. I think I even recommended it to you at one point. Like,
Yeah, it did sound like a good idea, and I really think that the point where you can see this change in Movie Pass, was when they fired their original CEO Um, I know his last name was Spikes, but he was quoted as saying that he feels pretty indifferent about the firing, and that he's been pretty at peace watching like other people drive his business into the ground. Um, which is exactly what they're doing. Really, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Like, which is a shame because, like, we're seeing lots of really good, like really good, movie subscription services out there, like AMC A List, which God, I wish we had an AMC in West Virginia, but God, I wish we did. But like, there's AMC A List, which if you don't know, it's like I think it's like somewhere around $20 a month, and you can see 3 movies per week, which is great. Regal just came out with their movie subscription service. Cinemark has something similar to that. But man, and but God, MoviePass just it's so sad. I think at one point their stock was like less than a cent. So it's like,
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, when you make your bucks off of fucking people over, they're eventually gonna say enough is enough and just refuse to do business with you.
but anyways, onto a little bit more of a positive thing. We're apparently, as of we're recording this, well, technically it's Saturday right now, but on Friday, on Netflix, like as we know, like there was gonna be this Rocko's Modern Life TV movie coming to Nickelodeon called Static Cling, and the first trailer I think aired, like was released in Comic-Con like in 2017, and then everything went quiet after that. Like there was like no developments. People were wondering what was going on, but apparently Netflix. I don't know how Netflix acquired the rights to Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling, but basically it's at home now at Netflix. And basically what Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling is about, it's about Rocko and his buddies. I'm guessing at the end of the series, I don't know. I think they blast off into
they went into space.
yeah, they went to space, and they've been in space for like over 20 years and whatnot, and so then they find a way to get back to Earth, and it's basically Earth 20 years later, which everyone still looks the exact same age, but the world around them has changed.
I mean, it is a cartoon.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that's an issue. It's just a funny cartoon thing. I just find it funny that no one in this world has changed at all. But it's just a funny thing.
Yeah.
My experience with Rocko's Modern Life, the TV show, I never religiously watched it. I've watched a few episodes, but it wasn't one of those shows that really grabbed my attention. Like, I need to watch this. Like, the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob, or Drake and Josh, or especially Invader Zim. But from what I saw of Rocko's Modern Life, I liked it. I never religiously watched it. But like, what was your experience with the show?
I grew up watching a lot of the reruns on Nick, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'd watch it whenever it was on. Nick at Night used to air it a bunch too. Um, I liked Rocko's Modern Life a lot. I thought it was really funny, and the crude humor was pretty up my alley. I think that they did a really good job with the Static Cling movie, especially having it pick up like right where the series left off. Um, the only issue I really have with the movie is that it felt kind of short to me. It felt almost like a TV series pilot, which maybe that is what it is. Who knows?
Like, this was going to be like a 1-hour special on Nickelodeon, but since it got dumped onto Netflix, it was 40 minutes because there were no commercial breaks. So,
right.
Yeah. I agree. I thought Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling was pretty solid. Again, coming from someone who was never a religiously big fan of Rocko's Modern Life, I liked the show. I thought this was pretty solid. The characters were likable. The voice acting was really cool. The animation actually is actually fits the show very well. It looks like a more cleaned up version of the original series as animation, and like a lot, some of the humor does really work. Like basically, there's like this one joke, you see it in the trailer where, they're at the movie theater, they're watching this one superhero movie. I'm guessing it was a superhero that existed in that was a character, and he's all dark and gritty like Batman. He's like, this time it's personal, and like the 3D is actually punching Rocko, and like I thought that was pretty funny. Uh, some stuff that I didn't particularly care for was that sometimes the future jokes got a little bit excessive, like the texting jokes for me.
Yeah.
Like initially it was funny, like how he said, I have the O phone 8, I just got the O phone 9, and then and then a worker comes out and puts a sticker that says the O phone 10. It's like, oh, we gotta go get it now. Like again, I thought that was pretty funny, but like eventually, like when they like just the excessive text, like selfie stuff, like that got a bit much. And there was this one character, and I don't know why they had this as like a little quirk of his, but he would always constantly pick his nose. I was like, God, why? Oh, I mean, I'm I just that I don't know if that was supposed to be funny, but I really like that wasn't even that wasn't even like gross out funny to me. It was just gross. But another element of Static Cling that I was definitely not expecting was its representation of a transgendered woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I'm not going to say who it is. I mean, granted, there's been like news articles that posted about this, but if you don't know, there is a character who is apparently a transgendered woman, and this is something that like we're already just starting to have gay characters in kids entertainment, like with Steven Universe or Adventure Time or an Arthur.
Yep.
But like jumping the gun and going straight to transgendered people, like that's ballsy, I gotta say. And I felt like they apparently, from what I've heard, even the creator who actually voices this character said like that they actually had help from the GLAD Association or whatever it is. GLAD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they actually got GLAD to sort of help them out with how to portray this character in a way that fits the show's humor, but still in a respectful way. And
right.
I thought it was again, it's very ballsy for them to do this, and I thought it was portrayed very well and could open the doors to having more representation like this in kids entertainment.
Yeah. I thought pretty much the same, that it was a very, very big step forward. I did, however, notice that when I was like Googling info about the movie when you told me about it, because I hadn't really heard too much about Rocko's Static Cling before I had watched it. I was looking at some of like the user reviews, and you had those reviews from people that are like, there was a transgendered character in this, my children and I won't be watching any more of this. And I'm like, fine, you already watched the movie.
But yeah, that's basically Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling. I thought it was solid, and coming from someone who's not the biggest, fanboy of Rocko's Modern Life, I thought this was pretty solid.
I think people, both new fans, especially younger people, will definitely enjoy Rocko's Modern Life, and I think people that originally watched the show and maybe just grew up watching it too will also enjoy it. They, in my opinion, did a good job of like doing a good job of representing all of the characters when changing from the end of season 1 to now, especially with how long it's been.
It's pretty good. It's on Netflix, so it's probably not going to go anywhere since it's a Netflix original. So there's that. And our final topic, which was initially our first topic before we had technical screw-ups, was that CW is going to be having their annual crossover event, and which this year it's going to be Crisis on Infinite Earths, and there's gonna be a couple of casting things. One of them is gonna be Brandon Routh from Superman Returns playing some version of Superman, and older Bruce Wayne is gonna make an appearance. I don't know how big of an appearance, but he's gonna be. But older Bruce Wayne is going to be played by the voice of Batman in Batman the Animated Series and 3 out of the 4 Arkham games, Kevin Conroy. Um, what do you think about this?
I really like Kevin Conroy, and I think it's going to be interesting to have an older Bruce Wayne come in because I feel like it could give some kind of way to maybe Batman Beyond or something. And I thoroughly enjoyed Batman Beyond, but again, I don't know where they're going with this. I'm excited to find out. Although I haven't seen a lot of the CW's DC shows. The most I've seen is probably from Arrow. Not the biggest fan, but the first season was definitely good in my opinion. Um, I tried to get into the Flash, but I couldn't really. It just wasn't. I didn't enjoy it that much, and I haven't actually seen Supergirl yet. But I think Kevin Conroy as older Bruce Wayne will be a really good casting call, and I think he's going to do a great job, especially with how much good work he's done in the Batman animated series and video games that he's been in. As for the Superman Returns casting, I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm definitely keeping an open mind. I'm definitely happy for him as he's getting a second chance to play Superman. But I personally didn't enjoy Superman Returns that much. It was alright, but I don't know. I didn't think it was an incredible movie, but I definitely am excited to see what they're gonna do with this crossover event because it's definitely unfolding to be very interesting to say the least. They have a lot of solid picks for casting, so I think it's going to be good. But again, I'd probably need to watch Supergirl to really be able to enjoy it fully, although I don't know. Because it does look like they're trying to attract like a big audience with this,
Yeah.
especially with how public all of these announcements are and how much they're sort of marketing it. So maybe you'll just be able to watch it like by itself, but who knows? Like I know a good bit about the DC characters, so I'm sure it won't be a problem. Either way, it'll be really cool to see Kevin Conroy and what he's gonna do with an older Bruce Wayne, especially since he's like doing live action acting this time instead of just voice work. Um, it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, I loved Kevin Conroy as Batman because even though he did the voice, he always had a presence with his voice, especially in
Yeah.
the Arkham games. Uh, I gotta disagree with you on Superman Returns, but that's the great thing about the subjectivity of film, because I thought Superman Returns was great. I love that. I love the kind of character study that it was, and I really liked Brandon Routh as Superman, and even but it does make me really wonder what kind of Superman this is going to be in Crisis on Infinite Earths, because currently Brandon Routh plays the Atom, and now that he's playing some version of Superman, I have no idea what they're going to do with this. But
Me neither.
I, now if Kevin Conroy is playing like Bruce Wayne as we like as he's currently Batman, there'd be a bit of an issue because he is old as fuck, and I don't know how he but as like an older Bruce Wayne, maybe if he was retired, I could definitely see that. Because obviously this is obviously a move that's that's supposed to be like what's the word I'm looking for? It's definitely fan service, but I mean, hey, I'm a fan, and so far I'm serviced. I'm really excited for this. I too am not really that well versed in the CW superhero shows. I tried, watching them, but there was like so much there was so much trying to watch them, and like it was really hard to keep up. But I am really interested to see where they're gonna go with Crisis on Infinite Earths, especially since I think Black Lightning is gonna be in there. Like I haven't seen Black Lightning. I don't know. Have you?
I'm familiar with
Black Lightning, but I have not seen it.
So yeah, basically, this whole thing about the CW stuff is like basically we don't know jack shit about the CW shows. All I know is that we like Kevin Conroy as Batman. I really liked Superman Returns. Raphael didn't. So again, this whole subject was probably kind of moot anyway, considering we haven't seen anything regarding the CW. We're just trying to give you content because, you know, we're YouTube shills. So yeah.
Yeah, YouTube's paying me a lot of money, bro.
Even though, yeah, yes. But regardless, this has been the 4th installment of the Hannahcast. We had a lot of topics today. Technical glitches aside, I'm glad that we were finally able to get this thing through. Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of we had a lot of topics this week. Hopefully, there's gonna be a lot of topics next week. So Raphael, if you want people to, I don't know, stalk you on the interwebs, where do you think would be best for them to stalk you?
Nowhere. I'm unfindable. Here. Stalk me here.
Not even on Twitter?
I don't really use Twitter.
He doesn't use Twitter.
Yeah, I'm kind of a lame ass. I'm sorry, boys.
No, I'm more lame. Like, whatever. But, so yeah. This has been the Hannahcast. Thank you, Raphael, for stopping by once again, even though it's currently 1:09 a.m. Goddamn.
Time is a relative concept.
It is. Well, I don't. What is time? I don't know. I think maybe if you want to know what time is, I would suggest watching "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 2."
That's a really good source for knowledge.
It has a funny clock man who's British, and British people have funny voices. So yeah, that's it for the Hannahcast, guys. Bang.